Hello and welcome. Here we go again. I am back to revisit a subject from the last episode of Stray Thoughts, which was entitled How Did I Get Here? Talking to Myself, I think. And I was discussing how video journaling has really helped me to connect to my own story from a more objective third person perspective, and how that's actually really helped me to find a lot of compassion for myself, my younger self, um, and to be able to integrate difficult things into my understanding of myself. And in this way, being able to tell and connect with my story has been tremendously helpful, and I'm really grateful for that. Then I realized that there's another side of story, and then I questioned that. So, well, what's the dark side of working with story? I said it's not working with it, it's being in it, being identified to it, living your life through that story is the problem. Having a story, having a sense of place and purpose and role and relation, these things are important. We do need this. We need functional egos, functional identities, but there's a risk of becoming identified with things in a way that we displace our own essential self, and we we sort of put on this garment of story and say, this is me, this is who I am. And I think you can see that when people are really identified with ideas and you challenge them, they'll take it as a very personal attack, even though it's more objective. It's about the subject at hand, it's not about the person holding the idea. But I feel like a lot of people have difficulty in distinguishing themselves from their stories. There's an over identification. So the problem's not that there's another side of story. There's another way we align with it or don't ultimately. Um, I I thought about how being able to work with that narrative is like taking a boat across a body of water. But identifying with it is like walking around with that boat on your back once you reach dry land. It stops being helpful at a certain point. So it's um, it's about how we relate to the story. It's not the story itself. Because I thought about it. I said, you're saying how great it is to be connected to story, and at the same time, I talk a lot about being disidentified and stepping out of story so that I can really be present in what is in the moment with who I am at that juncture and get the most reality based and functional results ultimately. And so, yeah, I wanted to circle back and highlight the point that another way of thinking about it is to say you're working with concrete and you're trying to lay a foundation. If you keep walking around in that concrete before it sets, number one, you're going to have a hard time walking around and you're going to make a mess. Number two, you're not going to get the foundation to cure and harden so that you can build on it. And I think working with story is laying in that concrete and letting it cure so that when you come back as who you really are in your actual self in the moment, you can stand on that, you can build on that. And so it's about the relationship to story. And so when I was reflecting and saying, you're talking how great it is to be connected to your story, I said connected, not identified with, not living through it, because those things are hooks we get caught on, and it keeps us from moving freely without pain. And I'm looking to take the hooks out as much as possible. So I just wanted to do a real quick one and follow up and refine what I was saying there. Maybe contextualize it? Yeah, contextualize it. So there's the context, and I hope that it is helpful. I always hope it helps. I hope I'm not just blathering at you endlessly. I do appreciate your time, and I enjoy having you come along for the ride, and I hope it is of some benefit. All right, till the next one. Thanks so much. Take care.